Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
After the Sabbath, as the first day of the week was dawning, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to see the tomb. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord descended from heaven, approached, rolled back the stone, and sat upon it. His appearance was like lightning, and his clothing was white as snow. The guards were shaken with fear of him, and became like dead men. Then the angel said to the woman in reply, "Do not be afraid. I know that you are seeking Jesus the crucified. He is not here, for he has been raised just as he said. Come and see the place where he lay. Then go quickly and tell his disciples, he has been raised from the dead. He is going before you to Galilee. There you will see him. Behold, I have told you." Then they went away quickly from the tomb, fearful yet overjoyed, and ran to announce this to his disciples. And behold, Jesus met them on their way and greeted them. They approached, embraced his feet, and did him homage. Then Jesus said to them, "Do not be afraid. Go tell my brothers to go to Galilee, and there they will see me." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Our birth will have been no gain, have we not been redeemed? O wonder of your humble care for us, O love, O charity beyond all telling. To ransom a slave, you gave away your son. Those beautiful words from the Easter canticle, the Exalted, the proclamation of Easter, are very moving. Every time I chanted, those words stand out, and sometimes I feel like crying. But I can't because I'm singing it, so you better stop. But it touches to the depth of this holy night, and it touches to the depth of our life. Not just the celebration of the church, but life itself, the cosmic reality of the resurrection. Our birth will have been no gain if that was it. If it wasn't for the resurrection of the Lord, life has no meaning. We were just lost cells in the universe who will disappear someday. But how easy in our world that we live in today, sometimes, not today, but 2,000 years have passed. And we continue to flirt with the idea that there is no resurrection, that death has the last word. We flirt with the idea every day, ourselves. People of faith, sometimes we lose sight of the reality of the resurrection, of the wonderful, of humble care for us that God has. Why life at all? Why be conscious of life at all? I was reading an article many years ago about lobsters and how whether there was an argument whether lobsters suffer when they die or not, when they're being boiled. I like to bring those kinds of things because I think when we talk about those things, we kind of lose sight of what life is about. And scientists said, no, the lobster doesn't know what's going on. They don't know. They're not conscious of their own reality of even existing as a lobster and then ceasing to exist. They don't think like we do. We project our ideas and we think that lobsters are going to feel some pain. But they're delicious. No, they're lobsters. What happens to us as Christians, sometimes we entangle into these minds without realizing what the resurrection is all about, and therefore we don't know what life is all about. even worried as to whether dogs go to heaven or not. I think it shows the childish of our faith, that each one of us have it. How childish, the lack of maturity in faith that we have before the resurrection, that we get lost in arguments, that we compare ourselves to cells. Dogs may go to heaven, by the way. I don't know which dogs, but not mine. But somebody's dogs go to heaven. But I think we get lost in that all the talk. Think about it. We are conscious of our own existence. Why is that so? We walk to supermarkets. We see people in churches. We socialize and we enter into this situation. Why? What for? We try to be cordial to one another. I'm jogging and you say hello and people say hello back. Why? Why? Because we're cells in the universe. They're going to die. If that's what the world says, then why even bother getting out of bed? You know? I think our life is sometimes we become so childish, as I say. Mature Christianity, I think, is what's happening to us. We don't mature as Christians. Our spiritual lives are stagnant in arguments, and sometimes we don't touch upon the base of the resurrection, the reality of the resurrection of the Lord, who died for us and that we may have life eternal. The reality of the resurrection. That we are alive, we will be dead, and then we're going to come back to life for all eternity. That our life has consequences, and the actions that we do will determine whether we come back to life eternal or not. We lose ourselves into the arguments and try to philosophize on the stars as if there was no revelation, as if there was no resurrection. A beautiful scene today on television, and there were these Eastern Greek Orthodox priests. I'm assuming they were Greek, but they were not. They might be probably Coptic. On the tomb of the resurrection. I was there a couple years ago. Some of our parishioners went along. And, you know, we have a romantic view of the tomb of Jesus, the empty tomb. And we got there, and it wasn't empty. It was a lot of people, actually. It took us 2 hours in line so that we can be there for 4 seconds. 4 seconds, I was inside the tomb of Jesus. So when we romanticize and we think we're going to go there, we're going to have a spiritual experience. Actually, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Everyone is expecting some kind of mystical reality. But the mystical experience precisely that the tomb was empty. We don't go to Rome. You go to Rome and you see the tombs of the popes. They're all lined up in crypts under the cathedral. You go to Magdalena and there's the tomb of Padre Aquino there. You go visit your family and there are tombs with people. The leaders of the world, you go and visit their tombs. Beautiful shrines. The tomb of Jesus is empty. We are the only religion that goes to a place to see where there is nobody there. All the other ones, they look for the tomb of their leaders, their prophets. For us, it doesn't matter because the tomb is empty. And precisely that the tomb is empty is the sign that Jesus rose from the dead, contested by many for 2,000 years, but lives and continues to live in our faith. So I was watching this, don't think I forgot the story. I was watching this, and there were these Coptic priests, all dressed much nicer than me. I envy that, because they had all these colorful clothing and special hats. And they were carrying the priest, and they were throwing them up and down. How come I don't get that treatment here? You know, and the priests had torches in their hands. They were lighting from the Easter candle, and all everyone in the church was cheering. But the interesting thing was the priests with torches and being thrown up and down like a bridegroom at a wedding. That's the joy of the resurrection. That's the joy of the church. No, we tend to be gloomy. We tend to be gloomy before the resurrection, and we just shy away. And we let anything that comes our way to bother us. And I think that's when we are childish. it's very easy for the human spirit to be quenched, to be put down, to be extinguished, because the problems of this world and everything that comes along kind of suffocates. Suffocating. The world is suffocating. It quenches the spirit. It's like you want to be joyful, and we don't live our lives with joy because we think death has the last word. I know. I grew up in Mexico. I'm saying that because in Mexico we celebrate Holy Week, like everybody does. But for some reason I don't remember Easter. We celebrate until Good Friday. We all went to the 33 creeds in the church. And then, it's like nobody talked about Easter Sunday. Even a cousin of mine sent me a message today. They're in town and they're asking me if I can go and join them for dinner. And I said, no, it's like asking Santa Claus to take the day off on Christmas. I said, you cannot do that. They said, I thought the church is closed for Easter. I said, no. Well, some churches closed for Easter. I don't know. I thought people just don't go. People get stuck on Good Friday. That's what happens. It's Good Friday and we all see Jesus get buried on the crucifix, and that's where our faith ends. That's where our journey ends. So every time that suffering comes our world, we look at the cross and we look at it and we just say, this is the cross, and there is a reason for human suffering. So when things go bad in our life, we look at the cross and we just use it as a justification to put ourselves in the suffering mode, in the slumbering mode. What happened to the joy of the gospel is not there. Not joyful anymore. We can just grow bitter and angry because the road is not our way, because we don't get what we want, because God is not giving us what we need and we want. We shrink our spiritual life to the world of neediness. The little children, without taking on the commitment that comes with being servants of the resurrected Lord. What does that mean? I don't know. It's what I do know. I'm just getting there. What does it mean? Having the conviction to discover your own death. I think what leads someone as a mature Christian is to recognize that we're going to die. The existential truth that each one of us will face death. We need to come to terms with it. We need to embrace it, because I need to see what my life is going to be, or how the world is going to be without me. What kind of changes am I exercising in the world that when I leave there will be more than a shadow behind? What am I doing to change the world while I'm on it? So when the Lord calls me to Himself, I left a mark. That's why I think we need to get in touch with our own death. Death will come to us. In order to understand the resurrection, and if I'm going to resurrect, why do I want to live for if it's not Jesus Himself? Now there are a lot of voices in the culture today. A lot of them. Some of them, for example, reduce the resurrection of the Lord as a thing of the heart. A thing of the heart, like a psychological experience. Like I explain about it many times. So we just think it's a thing of the heart. We're going to feel this, and always say things like, I don't have anything against Hallmark, by the way. Somebody asked me. I don't. But Hallmark says a lot of things that are not right. You know, that Jesus lives in us, and He does. But He resurrected from the dead. It's not just a memory. It's a reality. Jesus rose from the dead. It has consequences. So it's not just a memory. It's like keeping Jesus alive, like we keep our grandparents alive by thinking of them. No, Jesus really rose from the dead. Our grandparents are not yet. But Jesus really rose from the dead. Before this, what is for if Jesus did not raise from the dead? Why do we have to worry about having the right procession of candles, following the right order of readings, making sure that the candles are lit from the proper candle, as I just told the altar service to do? Why do we do all this and pass on 2,000 years of rituals on if the resurrection is Jesus living in us. And somebody says, but nobody cares about that. God doesn't care. God doesn't care. We're all fine. God cares. He rose from the dead, and He wants to make sure that we transmit that right message on the right situation. He cares. It's not like He's going to be judging. He's not going to send us to hell for it. But He's going to make sure that we do it with passion. We make mistakes, but with passion. That we are convinced of the resurrection. Let's read a quote from Flannery O'Connor. Somebody asked her, or somebody was discussing the Eucharist. And if I remember correctly, because I don't have notes with me, so if I remember correctly, somebody said that the Eucharist was the symbol of Jesus. That Jesus is not really present, He's just a symbol. It's a way to remember Him. So, it's an ecumenical talk. So people were trying to talk about how to find a common ground between believers. And Flannery O'Connor said, if the Eucharist is just a symbol, to hell with it. Strong words. If you're Catholic, that's a little comical, because if you think about it, but strong words. Why? Because if she explained later, she said, my whole life hinges from the reality of Jesus on the Eucharist, that His real presence is there. My whole reality hinges that He's truly the body, blood, soul, and divinity of Jesus. My whole fears, everything that Lord taught me, hinges on that reality of Jesus in the Eucharist. So if we're going to try to find common ground with the world and say, well, it's just a symbol, well, then I'm going to go to hell with it, because it's not what I am. I think the same applies to the resurrection. If we're just living life nicely because we think that heaven is going to be, as I said, like a little party where people are going to eat cream cheese, then it's not. I think we're going to be adoring Christ. I think we're going to live in love. I think we're going to live in love with God the Father and our brothers and sisters and everyone God put in our life, and maybe our dogs. I think that the resurrection is so real that it's going to feel more real than what we see today. We're not going to be blurred by sadness or anything else that makes us not think that life eternal is possible. I think the resurrection is so strong that we're going to be in complete adoration and absorbed by the presence of God. We ask the Lord that we enter into that. We're not there yet. There is 8 people receiving the sacrament of baptism tonight, and then others receiving confirmation as well. When we enter into baptism, St. Paul tells us in the epistle that was read today, we are baptized into His death. So our life is transformed. What you're about to receive, my brothers and sisters, is not just water on your forehead. It's not just a symbol. It is life. It is life-giving. It is the key that will allow you to enter into life eternity. It's not just something to conform to our religion. It is life-giving Christ. It is the way by which we enter into that eternal reality. If you're ready for that, I invite you now to please stand and come forward. We put ourselves on the patronage of the Virgin Mary, so hold 1 second, because I always have to finish with Mary. And ask her that she intercede for you, and that she may bring us all always to be stewards of the resurrection. That the thought of the resurrection may reignite in our hearts the proper way, that we always see things in light of the resurrected Lord. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The sermon. I'm not kidding. I introduced in the sermon, I introduced 2 concepts, and I didn't develop them. So I'm a little OCD, so I felt I had to tell you now. Basically, it is precisely actually on that reality where our spiritual journey gets stuck sometimes. I'm not saying that I don't want to make you feel, because you may not get the joy of the resurrection all the time. Doesn't mean that your spiritual life is not moving. What happens sometimes, how it is mature and how it is childish, so spirituality, is precisely how we get caught up in worldly things. Sometimes it's shown as scrupulosity. Sometimes it's shown as getting fixated on small little matters without seeing the big picture. And I think that is how our soul gets stuck. We don't move forward because we get stuck in that. So that's what we're worried about, whether dogs go to heaven and that kind of thing. Because I think what happens with us is that we don't interiorize our mortality. Maturity, on the other hand, the mature side will be, I'm not saying that I'm the most mature person, I'm just saying that I know about it. But the whole mature side, what happens is that when we are in the spirit of the resurrection, we begin to see things with all the possibilities that God can possibly give us. Which means our spirituality grows, but it's going to grow organically. What that means that it's not going to break away from the body of Christ or just generate its own existence, but it's going to grow organically. How do we discern whether we're getting stuck in infantile spirituality or we're growing? He said it always has to be in motion, like the plants in creation. It has to move closer and closer towards something else. I like to use the example of a sunrise and a sunset. Every day, a sunrise and a sunset look the same. But it's not the same. If you see, it's a few seconds, a few minutes off. But it's not always the same. That is the newness of the resurrection. That we can distinguish between one and the other. One step at a time. One day at a time. One commitment with the Lord at a time. Then we will distinguish a growth that is happening in us. Otherwise, if we fall into the notion that everything is the same, we're going to be chasing after our own tails. And that's when we begin to spin into particulars, into whether aliens are going to be saved or not. You know, we just basically, we're spinning our own tails. We're not growing, but we're just basically spinning. So, that's my thought. On that note, we have egg fish fry tomorrow, again. If you think it's always the same, it's not actually. Every day comes out different. We had Easter egg hunt, and also after the 10 a.m. Mass and the 12 noon Mass, we had children doing an egg hunt. So you're welcome to come. And somebody sent me an inbox messages on Facebook asking me whether this Mass is valid for tomorrow. He does the kind of spinning after our own tails kind of thing. Of course it is. You know, it's the same as tomorrow. It's going to be different readings, but it's the Mass of tomorrow. It's the oneness of, sometimes we just fall into the thing. So yes, you don't have to come tomorrow if you came tonight. But if you don't, then I'm not talking to you because I'm not here. Don't forget to turn in your rice bowls. And join me in 2 prayers. We're going to do the prayer of the evangelization. I know it's late, but we promise we'll do this prayer every Sunday.